What's up, YouTube? Today I have a really special guest, and he's live from his car right now. He's going to be a final battle in a fatal four-way in a four-way for the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. You can find Final Battle on pay-per-view or on Honor Club. This is Rhett Titus. What's up, bro?
Hey, Malcolm, what's going on, my man? Thank you for having me. I'm all pumped up here for Final Battle, my man.
Definitely. And well, while you're in the car right now, driving where you got to go, I want to ask you a couple of questions real quick. So you've been like a lifer at Ring of Honor. You've been there for like over 14, 15 years now. So what's it been like to be like which is a bit of a rarity to see in wrestling right now, see guys actually stay in a company like their entire wrestling careers. So what about Ring of Honor have made you so, hate to throw a cliche at you, but honorable to stay with ROH as a wrestler and as a fan this entire time?
Yeah, so I always wanted to be a wrestler growing up my whole life. But there got to be a point like where WCW and ECW went out of business and wrestling just wasn't that interesting. This new promotion popped up. It was called Ring of Honor. My brother-in-law was like, hey, you want to go to this Ring of Honor show? And I was like, because I've been through a few indies and it was just like, a lot of them were like either hit or miss. So I was like, we'll see what happens, And he's like, well, Eddie Guerrero and Steve Corino are going to be there. Those were my two favorite wrestlers. So I was like, oh, yeah, let's go. And then when I saw Ring of Honor, I was like, oh my gosh, like this isn't sports entertainment. This is wrestling as a sport. And, these guys, a lot of these guys are smaller than me. Like, this is something that, I could do and I could be a part of. And from that point on, I was just like obsessed with Ring of Honor. And then they opened up the wrestling school, and I was like, I gotta be there, And Ring of Honor was always the place that I wanted to be, and I wound up having my first live professional wrestling match in a Ring of Honor show. So I was just so happy to be there, and I never wanted to go anywhere else. So I dedicated my career to wrestling at Ring of Honor.
Wow, that's crazy. And it's so great to see that's now starting to pay off as well with Final Battle coming up. And I want to talk about the show. What's your thoughts on the card going into the show from top to bottom? And also, obviously, you're a fatal four-way match for the Ring of Honor World Television Championship.
And this is going to be a Final Battle to remember. This is an end of an era, to say the least.
Yeah.
But yeah, Final Battle 2021 is going to be a great show. Main event, you got Octopus Jonathan Gresham going against Bandito for the Ring of Honor World title. Of course, I'm Team Gresham because of the foundation and whatnot, but I think he's going to pull that one off. You got the Briscoes going against OGK for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles, which is going to be another off-the-chains match. You have the six-man tag titles as Shane Taylor Promotions defends against the Righteous. That's on the Hour 1 show, so check that out. It's going to be free on YouTube as well. You got the women's match, Roxy versus Willow Nightingale. Two of the best women's wrestlers out there right now, so that one's going to be another great match. And then you got Kenny King versus Shane Taylor, in a fight without honor, two former tag team partners of mine. I'm going to be sitting back watching this one. I hope I wrestle before this one so I can just kind of relax and watch this one. Because, Shane Taylor are going to give Kenny King a good ass whipping. And then you got myself going up against Dalton Castle, the Ring of Honor World Television Champion, the returning Joe Henry and Silas Young in a fatal four-way. This one's for the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. I never held Ring of Honor gold in my Ring of Honor singles gold in my whole career. I've had the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles on 2 different occasions, but I never had the one on my own. Everyone always said I had to rely on somebody else, but this Saturday I'm going in there alone, and I plan on coming out with the Ring of Honor Television Championship. I have one night left to do it, and this will be my night in Baltimore.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure it definitely is going to be. And I want to look at Final Battle and just talk about that for a minute. Looking back 2 years ago, you faced off against one of your great friends and now turned rivals, Kenny King. And even though he didn't get the W, that had to be one of the best matches that I saw on the card, told as a story and as a wrestling match. So what's been some of your favorite matches in your ROH career so far?
We want to just keep it strictly Final Battle. Wow, I've been to every single Final Battle except for one. So either as a fan or wrestling on the show or, had some spot on the show. I've been to every Final Battle except for one. I missed 2004 with when Samoa Joe lost to Austin Aries for the Ring of Honor World Championship. So I missed that one, but every other one I've been there. But for myself, today I was just looking up some old Final Battle matches. I had my very first Final Battle. It was actually a four-way as well. And that was myself versus Jerry Lynn versus Chris Hero versus Necro Butcher. So that was a cool one. The following year was another four-way. So I've had my fair share of four-ways at Final Battle. But the following year was myself versus Claudio Castagnoli versus Kenny Omega versus Colt Cabana in a four-way. And, 2010, Final Battle 2010, myself and Kenny King versus Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. I really liked that match. It was a really cool one at Final Battle. Really ended the year on a good foot that year. But, and then another favorite of mine was myself and Kenny King versus the Young Bucks versus the Briscoe Brothers. I want to say that was Final Battle 2016. Some of these years just all blend together, so sometimes it's hard to pinpoint which year is which. But and then I was just watching another one I had today too. It was myself and BJ Whitmer versus Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin in Christmas Street Fight. So that was a really cool one. I got hit with a Christmas tree in that match. So how could I forget last year's Final Battle? Myself and Tracy Williams, we teamed up against Fred Yehai and Wheeler Yuta in the first ever Pure Rules tag team match. So that was really cool to make history last year and be a part of the first ever Pure Rules tag team match. And that was a really good match. If you've never seen that one, definitely go check it out. It's on YouTube for free as well too.
Wow, that's crazy. You have so many Final Battle matches and such a long Ring of Honor career. It's insane. And you started training at Ring of Honor when you were only 17 at the dojo. And you've had trainers like Austin Aries and Bryan Danielson. So how did you find yourself in a scenario where you can only win of training in the Ring of Honor dojo under these elite names? And again, for one of the biggest companies in North America.
Yeah, my goal was to get to Ring of Honor. So I was like, hey, ain't no better way to get there than to just go to the wrestling school. So, I signed up I had my initial tryout in March of 2005. And that was with Samoa Joe and CM Punk. And it was 500 squats, 120 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, sprints, lunges, sideways lunges. They just tried to break you, it was just crazy because Samoa Joe was just wielding a Singapore cane the whole time. If you weren't going low enough on your squats, he was going to hit you in the shin. Oh. So out of the 8 people that were at my tryout, I was the only person that actually finished all the exercises and that sort of thing. I wasn't in the shape that I am now, but I just had this never say die attitude that I hold up to the day. And I was like, hey, if I'm going to get into this school, I can't quit. This is what I got you to get in. So I'm a get in, and that's just it. I went back to high school the next day, and I couldn't walk. I was just trying to pull myself up the stairs to get to my class. But shortly after that, CM Punk got signed and went to WWE. So Austin Aries took over the school, and I got to learn all the tricks of the trade from Austin Aries. And then he moved away, and Bryan Danielson came in, and he had an advanced class. So I got to train under Bryan Danielson and learn a little bit more advanced techniques from Bryan Danielson. And I've been very blessed with my training. I learned from some of the best, and not only that, but I was also having all my matches under the Ring of Honor umbrella, growing up. So all the guys that were on the card, from Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, to Homicide, and the list just Jimmy Rave, Adam Pearce, BJ Whitmer, the list goes on and on. All these guys would watch my matches and give me constructive criticism and what things I could have done better. So the learning process was a very advanced level learning process, because I was learning from such great people, and I always made I never made the mistake to make the same mistake twice. So I was very blessed.
Yeah, trainers like that, and of course, dedication as well. That has to be just a goal for success. And it led to you in 2008 actually winning the top of your class trophy. And even though like you were the last person to ever win that, and looking at the history of that trophy itself, you're the only guy to actually make a name for yourself that won that trophy as well. So looking at like the current like dojo wrestlers or like younger talent pool of Ring of Honor, who do you think can really step up to the plate and be that next guy to venture maybe outside Ring of Honor now, becoming like a really big star?
Wow. Well, first off, Bryan Johnson. I think Bryan Johnson, he's a great promo, great wrestler in the ring. I've known him for about 14 years or so, and he's come a long way in that time. So he'll be challenging Josh Woods for the pure title. I mean, even though I like Bryan Johnson, I gotta go Team Foundation with Josh Woods, keep the pure title in the Foundation. But Bryan Johnson, also there's some other good guys like Ryo and Eric Martin and Dak Draper. He came from the dojo as well. So a lot of these guys are going to do some cool things, and I'd be happy to know all of them.
Definitely. And looking within like your 14, 15 years in Ring of Honor, you won the tag team titles twice, and you had it with two different partners, Kenny King and Tracy Williams. So what's like the difference in between tagging with someone like Kenny King, who's much like a showsman, and then Tracy Williams, who's really like a technical wrestler?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because by the time like me and Tracy won the tag titles, we had like 5 tag team matches together, whereas me and Kenny, we had like been teaming for years and years, so we had like built up our chemistry where me and Tracy kind of had like a natural chemistry. And even though we did lose the tag team titles, Tracy was injured, and myself and Jonathan Gresham had to defend the titles, and we lost them. So technically speaking, me and Tracy Williams as a tag team are still undefeated. So, but yeah, Kenny King a little bit more flashier. Tracy Williams a little bit more about just trying to get the job done. And, I definitely liked teaming with both of them. I definitely had chemistry with both of them. But, when the bell rings, you kind of want to get things done as quick as possible. And Tracy Williams is a little bit better of a partner for that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And looking at like your whole run now, it's like a singles wrestler going into this final battle. You wear like a mask to the ring right now, but this isn't your first time ever wearing a mask. So, and I'm talking about the Romantic Touch character. So for that character, which is definitely like before its time, and is really something that's been like really entertaining to watch and look back and see like how different that character was back then. Whose idea was it for you to come back as a Romantic Touch?
It was kind of mine. I got kicked out of Ring of Honor because Scum had lost a Loser Leaves Ring of Honor match. Yeah. And it was just a different way to get me back in, under a mask. And I was always a fan of doing character wrestling and that sort of thing. And, the Romantic Touch gave me something to kind of do in the meantime while I kind of figured out what was going on with, Rhett Titus inside of Ring of Honor. So, and then it kind of just took on a life of its own. It was only supposed to be for a few months, and then, it just became a fun thing, and it kind of, stayed around for a while. And every St. Valentine's Day, the Romantic Touch may make an appearance here and there.
From start to finish, you've been in Ring of Honor essentially the entirety of its entire run as a company. What were some of the biggest developments you've seen of the company over your entire time being with Ring of Honor?
And I was working for Ring of Honor when Gabe Sapolsky was booking, and when Adam Pearce was booking, Delirious, Jim Cornette. I saw all the different changes and all from Carrie Silken owning it to Sinclair Broadcast Group owning it. And that would probably be one of the biggest changes, because when Carrie was owning it, it was kind of like a mom and pop type company, one guy is the owner. And then all of a sudden this corporation buys it. And, we were staying in these fancy hotel rooms, and, we were used to being 6 guys deep in a hotel room. And, all of a sudden we had flights for 8 hours, an 8-hour car ride. It's what? We don't have to drive 8 hours anymore. It was just, a lot of, I love Carrie Silk. Carrie Silk was always great to me, but, he was only one man, he was just trying to keep things running on a shoestring budget, and then we got bought by a corporation. And like my good friend Carrie always said, we got taken to the promised land.
That's awesome. And like, I guess my last question is, going in 2022 with the unknown future of Ring of Honor, what's Rhett Titus' 2022 looking like?
Well, man, it's very uncertain, because tomorrow, something could change, but I'm just going to kind of keep on keeping on. I have a few shows lined up for 2022, but I just kind of want to keep going with the foundation and, kind of try to bring pure wrestling back to pro wrestling and kind of take the sport back for what it is. A lot of guys are high flying all over the place and, trying to bring it back to its roots and how pro wrestling is supposed to be, and make sure the rules are upheld and followed to, and bring the code of honor and all the tradition and honor that we learned from Ring of Honor into other indies and other companies and other federations, and make sure that no matter what happens with Ring of Honor never dies. And if all goes according to plan on Saturday, I'll be the television champion. So I'll have the television title to carry around with me and defend against other upcoming wrestlers as well. So hopefully, my fingers are crossed. So hopefully, that comes true.
Of course. I'm sure you're going to get that championship. It's going to be great. Where can people find you on social media? Where can people book you? And just to figure out where Rhett Titus is going next.
Okay, so I'm on Twitter at Rhett Titus ANX. Now, I am on Instagram as well, but here's a forewarning. My account has been hacked, and I have not been able to get it back yet. So if you see someone pretending to be me on Instagram at Rhett Titus ANX, it is not me. Do not invest your money into Bitcoin or what other scam he's trying to do. So once I get my Instagram back up and running, I'll be sure to let everybody know. But Facebook.com/Rhett Titus, ProWrestlingTees.com/Rhett Titus ANX for a t-shirt. ShopHonor.com, search Rhett Titus on there for a t-shirt. I'm on TikTok too. I don't know what the hell I'm doing on there. It's TikTok. Rhett Titus on TikTok, YouTube.com/Rhett Titus. I think I got all the social media covered. All I gotta do is get my damn Instagram back, but Instagram's a pain in the ass to try to deal with.
Well, yeah, if anyone from Instagram gets DM'd by Rhett Titus and his Bitcoin, make sure to not respond to that. Like, not about it. Not about it. But again, thank you, Rhett, for coming on to the show. I really appreciate it. Make sure to like, comment, share, and always subscribe, and we're out.
We going up like 1,000. I'ma flex just like a muscle man Malcolm. We going up like 1,000. I'ma flex just like a muscle man Malcolm. When it just like 1, 2, 3. If you like the channel, this will squeeze. If you like the channel, this will squeeze. If you like the channel, this will squeeze.